In this lesson, we're going to talk about autism spectrum disorder. Now, autism is a spectrum disorder, which means that the characteristics of autism can range from mild to severe and can be different in each person with ASD. Now, diagnosis. There's no way to medically test for ASD by taking blood or things like that. So instead, the child's behavior and development is observed, and then they can come to a proper diagnosis that way. Now, this makes it sometimes hard to diagnose ASD at earlier stages. Now, you might ask, how is ASD caused? So there are a few different ways that ASD seems to be caused. Genes are the first one, and are a risk factor in having ASD, as it can be passed on genetically from generation to generation. Therefore, children that have siblings with ASD are more likely to also have ASD themselves. Now, there are certain drugs like valproic acid and thalidomide that, when taken during pregnancy, have been linked with a higher risk of ASD. And children that are born to older parents also have an increased risk of being born with ASD. Now, under ASD, there are specific disabilities as well. There are a few that fall under the autism spectrum disorder. So they are autistic disorder, pervasive developmental disorder, not otherwise specified, also known as PDD-NOS, and Asperger's syndrome. Now, I'm going to focus on, for the rest of this, PDD-NOS, and we're going to go into the characteristics of this disability, as well as the classroom strategies and treatment for working with a student with PDD-NOS. Now, PDD-NOS became the diagnosis applied to children or adults who are on the autism spectrum but don't necessarily fully meet the criteria for any other ASD, such as autistic disorder or Asperger's syndrome. The defining feature of PDD-NOS are significant challenges in social and language development. PDD-NOS is relatively new, and so many physicians and other professionals aren't very familiar with the term, and they may use it incorrectly since it's only been around for about 15 years or so. Now, PDD-NOS is characterized by delays in the development of socialization and in communication skills. Now, parents may notice these differences as early as infancy, and this may include delays in using and understanding language, difficulty relating to people, unusual play with toys and other objects, and difficulty with changes in routine. Now, here's a quick video clip that demonstrates a young girl who has PDD-NOS, and you can notice some of the different characteristics that come with this disability.
Let's go play. Do you want to go on the fire engine?
Look, I saw this couple unloading something from their truck, and they're having...
You want to go on the swing?
You want to go on the fire truck or something? No,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you played me. You streamed me.
Okay, let's go. Show me where they are. We just have to wait our turn for one, okay?
Why do you have to wait on turn?
Because all the swings are full, see?
Aaron, come over here.
Yeah. Why would you?
right here.
Why don't you scoop
Right
some?
here. Right here. Right here.
Why don't you guys go for a walk?
Come on. We're gonna go for a walk. Yep.
Anna, what do you want to do, honey?
Hold on. Hold on.
Why are you doing that? Why are you flapping?
I'm scared.
You flapping because you're scared?
Yeah.
What are you scared of?
What?
What are you scared of?
No.
The clown? He's way, way over there making animal balloons. Do you want to go look at him or you want to go somewhere else? Okay, let's go.
What's that?
Now here's a second video clip that shows a few more of the characteristics of PDD-NOS.
You gonna go play in the sand with Chelsea? Hey, can you look at me? Oh, what do you think Dominic's crying about? Someone's mad, maybe?
Yeah.
Does that bother you when Dominic cries? How does it make you feel?
Sad.
Why?
Because I just you.
Now, the best kind of treatment for PDD-NOS is going to be a combination of different treatments. And these kinds of treatments can vary from play therapy, sensory integration therapy, social skill training, and behavior therapy. There's a lot of variety of these things. And it's important to know that with PDD-NOS, no two children are going to develop in the same way, and no two children are going to be affected in the exact same way by this disability. Here we can see a story of behavioral therapy here, and that is one form of treatment that can be used. As a teacher, it's going to be important in a classroom to integrate these students as best as we possibly can into the mainstream classroom or the general education classroom. This will allow them to have higher levels of independence, get the general education that they need, with the addition of an IEP, which, as the general teacher, you'll be required to incorporate and allow for those adaptations and accommodations. Now, it could also help students if their schedules are similar and they didn't have to deal with a lot of changes all of the time, because familiarity will greatly help them with PDD-NOS. So there is a quick 10-minute lesson just about autism, spectrum disorder, and specifically about PDD-NOS, and some of the resources and characteristics about it. Also some of the ways that we can accommodate as teachers in our classroom for students that have these disabilities to make it so that they can still be successful. We're fortunate enough that there are so many resources online that allow us to learn more and and to be able to figure out the best way to help our students that have these disabilities and make them successful.